Alright, welcome back to part 3, where we are going to make, so these are the wooden dowels I was telling you about that you're going to need. I got these on Amazon actually, and I think it cost me like $5 for, what do I got here, 3, 6, 9, 10, for just a couple of dollars Canadian. This is the hair. I already have some hair that's made, but I'm going to show you anyway how to make it. So this is the hair already done. So cooked in the oven and then cut. You can pull it out and straighten it as much as you want, and it'll still bounce back and keep its shape. So I've already got all these different colors done. The only thing different I'm going to do with you is this purple color is actually going to be this sparkly purple. So I think that'll look really pretty. So we'll get right into making some hair. Okay. My scissors. So you need to preheat your oven to 250. And this is what we're going to do. You make a slip knot. So we're just going to start wrapping. This is very time consuming, but the outcome is fantastic. If you can cut notches so you don't have to tie the knot, then that would be even better, is to cut notches in them. But I just tie a knot. I mean, some of it gets trimmed off anyway. You can get quite a bit of hair on here. So even though I have a yellow unicorn, oh, we haven't even made the horn yet, we still got to do that. Even though we have I have a yellow unicorn, I'm still doing yellow hair because mixed in with all the other colors, it's not going to be a big deal. So while this is cooking, we can make the horn. This has to cook for 40 minutes. And the horn certainly doesn't take that long. So we're just about coming up to the end. So you're just going to tie another knot at the end here. And there's no real easy way to do it. So we just do different colors. Super excited to see this purple actually. I think I'll do a few rows, a few dowels. So this is going to be time consuming. The purple unicorn that I did with all the hair on it. So I've got 10 rows. I think I did it 3 times. So I have 30 pieces. Plus you cut. So after we do this, we're going to cut. We're going to wrap it around a book or wrap it around something, and we're going to cut it in little bits so it's not so long, because you don't need really long ends. And I still had to do 3 trips to, I'm pretty sure it was 3, to the oven. But I just make hair willy-nilly and I put it in a bag. So just because I do a lot of projects that require hair, I've got brown hair, I've got black hair, white hair, excuse me, yellow hair. So I got all kinds of hair. I just recently got this purple, sparkly purple, so super excited to see how that turns out. It doesn't matter what kind of yarn you use either. As long as it's, you know, if you're doing it all for one project, as long as it's all the same. Like, this is all 4-weight yarn. It's all Red Heart Super Saver. That's basically all I use. So, but I mean, any yarn will work. Worsted weight, DK weight, the really thin stuff, anything will work. And if you want bigger curls, you can do bigger dowels. For this project, I don't really need bigger curls. The little ones work out. I switch sides because my hand gets crampy trying to grab something so small. I've got some arthritis in my hand, so it's easier for me to grab onto something that's a little more thicker. So as much as this is very time consuming, it is so worth it at the end. So you can go ahead and fill all your dowels. I'm going to continue to fill mine. And I will meet you back here after that. And your oven is preheated to 250, and I will show you what to do from there. So I did a few of my sticks and just let it soak in a sink for about 10 minutes. And then we'll put it in the oven. So once you've let that soak, you want to get a pan with a rack, because you don't want this sitting on the bottom of the pan. And then you're just gonna lay them out. You're gonna put them in your oven that's preheated for 250, and you're gonna cook them for 40 minutes. Alright, so let's get on to making our horn. By the way, before we get started, this is the rug hooking hook I was telling you about. This is what we're going to use to put the hair on. So this is what they look like if you want to go find one. Anyway, so you're just going to do a slip knot. Sorry, you're going to do a magic ring, not a slip knot. You're going to put 4 single crochets into that magic ring. Try to keep this loose because it's going to be very awkward in a minute. So once you pull this closed, you can just use your needle to loosen up that first stitch, because this is going to get very awkward very fast. You're going to put, this is the only way to get a point though on your horn. So you're going to put a single crochet in those 4 stitches, 1 in each. So there's 1, 2, the 3rd stitch, and the 4th stitch. So in the next stitch, you're going to put your stitch marker, and you've got one stitch in there. In the next stitch, if you can try to turn this inside out without mangling it, then go right ahead. So your next stitch, you're going to put 2 single crochets into that stitch. The next stitch, you're going to put 1 single crochet, and this final stitch right there, you're going to put 2 single crochets. So try to turn this right side in. It's very, very difficult, but it can be done. But it is a struggle. So you can just use the end of your hook to kind of shape that around. So, very difficult, but it's cute at the end of all this nonsense. So, you should have 6 stitches at this point. So in those 6 stitches, here, let's again make life easy and cut off your tail. So in these 6 stitches, you're just going to single crochet. So just count 6. So your stitches are going to be elongated a little bit because you're going around such a narrow, small, pointed piece. So they are going to be elongated. So now you're going to do another increase. So in your next stitch, which we're going to put a marker, you're going to put 1 single crochet, and then next stitch you're going to put 1 single crochet. The next stitch you're going to put 2 in the same space. And then you're going to go 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and 2 in the last hole. So your repeat should end at the marker like all of our other stuff that we've done. So you should have 8 stitches at this point, and all you're going to do is single crochet into those 8 stitches in your next round. So again, you can just count 8. So we're gonna once again increase. So put your 1 single crochet in your stitch marker. The next stitch is going to get a single crochet, and the next one after is going to get a single crochet. So you did 3 single crochets in a row, and then you're going to do your increase. So your increase is 2 in the same hole, and then repeat. 1, 2, 3 stitches around, and then 2 in the same hole. Should take you right to your marker. So you should have a total of 10. And then all you're going to do is single crochet around for the next 5 rows. And it goes pretty fast because you only have 10. So if you don't want to use your stitch marker, you can just count to 40. You'll have the same amount. So I've just done that row. So I'm going to count from this point on. I'm just going to count to 30 instead of using my marker, and it goes way faster. And that's my 30. So that's my horn. If you want yours shorter, you don't have to go as far as I did. You can just, you know, put it on the head to see what it's going to look like. So you can do that and then just kind of judge what you want from there. So you don't have to go as long as I did, but however long that you've gone, you can just, we're going to put a tiny bit of stuffing in here, but not much. So you can just fasten off. So go into the next stitch, into your slip stitch, and then fasten off, obviously with the tail, because you're going to sew this on. So you can just shove a wee bit down there. Just kind of helps to keep it a little bit stable. Okay, so once you're satisfied, just push it down further into that. Just stick my end down into that stuffing. It should be fine. So we're not sewing this closed because I need these stitches to sew it on with the hidden stitches. So get out whatever needle that you're going to use. Whoops. Oh my gosh, I just did it again. I'm gonna have to break down and use my piece of crap threader because I don't know how much more I can cut off. Well, that was more difficult than it needed to be. So I'm going to put where I'm going to start to sew. I'm going to kind of keep it at the back a little bit here. So you're going to have to determine where you want this guy. Make sure he's not funny shaped. You're going to have to kind of determine where you want him. Now keep in mind, we're putting hair all around this too, so. Find something to kind of tack it down a little bit. And then we can just roll up underneath into that stitch. So just go around and make sure you're hitting all the stitches. All the way around. So just keep trying to keep the shape as best as you can. You just want to come up into that stitch. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I think it got stuck in my needle. Well, not sure what's going on with that, other than it getting stuck on my needle or my pin. This one's going to be a little harder to try to keep on because you are just trying to come up between all those stitches into every stitch around because we didn't close it. But the outcome is fantastic. As long as you get into the right spot. And I'm almost back around. So I've come all the way back around. So I'm just going to go down into a stitch as close to my yarn as possible. No wider than a stitch. And again, I'm just going to pop up somewhere. But I'm only going to do that once because of the color. So when I cut this off, I'm going to hold this and I'm going to push down on the doll. That way, when it pops back up, you can't see it. So there is our unicorn horn, sticking straight up like that. You can just make your adjustments with it. So it's kind of sticking more forward than up. So there's our horn. It'll look a lot better when we have our hair on. So let's go check on our hair. Alright, once your hair has all cooled down, you can start to unravel it. So there's many different ways to do it. But either way, don't be afraid to just pull. So once you've done that, you can just pull your knot out of the top. So once you've unraveled all of your hair, you're going to need a book or something that you can wrap the hair around. Oops. Let's try this again. So wrap the hair around, pulling tight so you're straightening it out. This might not have been the best color to use. I'll show you with a different color after. So wrap it around as many times as it'll go. And then you're just going to cut it. And that's how you're going to get your pieces. So that's what they come out looking like. Some are bigger, some are smaller, and you know what? That's what you want. You don't want all the same size. Now these ones will come out looking like this because of where you've tied it. You can just snip it off. Or you can put it on the head first and snip it off. So I got another one from where it was tied. So I'm just going to snip that piece off. So that's your hair. So I'll show you with a color you're going to be able to see. So we'll pull this off. Doesn't take long. I guess all this whole process is kind of time consuming. So you can just start wrapping. And then cut. Find your pieces that you gotta snip off. Or, like I said, just wait till you're putting it on. So, you go ahead and do that and get all your hair unraveled and cut. And I'll meet you back here and show you how to put it on. So I've got all my hair done. And I got my rug hooking hook. So it's got an end on it like this. So this comes up. So let's start at the back of the head. Just so I can show you so it's nice and easy. I'll find a color that you can see easy enough, because I'm not going to be doing this whole thing with you. But first thing you're going to do is, so just behind this little flipper, I know it's not focusing because I don't have anything there. This can be very difficult to show you. Here, I'll show you on the bum. That way I can be down further. So, wrap your piece around. You want this flipper to be up. Wrap your piece around. You're going to go in. You're going to push that till the flipper goes to the other side. So now the flipper's on this side. Just like that. You're going to take your two pieces. You're going to wrap it around. Then the flipper is going to close. And you're going to pull through. And that secures it with a little knot to the back of your bunny. So you'll just have to get close enough. You just wrap it around, go in again, right next door, wrap it around, and pull through. And we're just going to keep doing this a gajillion times. So what I did with the other one is I just did, for the tail, I did 3 rows over. I'm not quite in the middle of his bum, so I'm going to do probably 5 rows and then come down a little bit. But you don't need much for his tail. It just needs to be up high enough. And then the mane, I came down, literally almost went ear to ear. And I came down all the way to the neck, because the curly parts will probably hang down to about here. But you can be the judge by just taking a curly part, folding it in half, putting it in place to see where it's going to hang. Then you know how far down to go. But I literally went down to probably the 3rd row from the base of the neck. And then I came up all in between here. I didn't come around here, but I did come up all in between here, because with the curls, it kind of flops down in front. So it's all up to you how you want to do it. But that is how I did that. And then I just alternated colors. So the last one that I showed you, like I said, I did 3 across, but I didn't quite start in the middle of this, so I'm going to do 5 across, and that should kind of even it out a bit. So you don't really lose shapes, or I guess doing it on camera might work better. Well, I'm not quite even either, so I started over too far. So I may put one more over here, and that's 7 wide. 7 wide across. I don't have any yellow in there yet, so. That's 7 wide across, and then I'll just keep going down. You can pull these tight. Keep going down. Down and down. Till you get the desired thickness you want for the tail. And then I just find whatever's not curly, the ends, I just snip off like I'm giving a haircut. So I'm going to work away at this, and I'm probably going to speed it up. So you can pull these. You can pull these down, pull these knots tight, so nobody's getting that out. So I'm going to speed this up, and I'm just going to work away. So that's probably good for the tail. And then we can start working Working the back of the neck, back of the head. So as far as this mane goes, you can taper in as you go. And then you can work on the top part of the head around the not sure what I was stuck on there, but you'll have to put your head back in shape a little bit from all the pulling, but it's not a huge big deal. Everything does go back into shape. So far. So it's all up to you how far down you go, but just keep in mind this isn't hair, this is a mane on a unicorn. So, and I'm tapering in, so I started off from ear to ear and I'm kind of tapering in, so I've got 5 across now, and it will probably continue to taper. Because now I'm coming down to where I'm going to be stopping soon. that's 4 across. And I will probably just continue doing 4 across for another row. It goes pretty fast once you get onto it and your guy learns to sit up on his own. So it does go pretty quick. So I'm really liking how this sparkly purple turned out. If you had different colored of sparkle yarn, I think that would look super cute. So some of them are hanging down quite far now. The best part is if you don't think it's filled in enough, once you're done, you can just continue to fill in. It doesn't matter if you share a hole with another hole. And keep in mind when you're doing this, you still gotta do the top around the horn. So don't use all your hair for, oh yeah, you can just make more hair, I suppose, but we're just doing the mane. We still gotta do the other. So that's the look you're gonna get. It's probably about all I'm gonna do for the mane because it's hanging down pretty far. You do want some back before you get to the tail. So now we just have to do up on the top. We've got all this space up here we got to fill in, and a little bit behind the ears, or in front of the ears, beside the ears, that we got to do. So this part's funny looking because it's got the big holes, but we try to fill it in the best you can. You can share holes. I don't want to use too much of this blue because of the horn, but I want to fill in back here and over here too. Oh, only got one piece in there. Yeah, I think I pulled a couple through that piece. And you can use some yellow to fill in some spots as well. Oh my good Lord. Fill in some spots with the color of your horse or your unicorn. Sorry, I don't even know if half of this is on camera. So I'm just filling in some spots with the yellow. Just use your fingernail to tighten your knots down. This is hard to do and show on camera, so bear with me. And show a couple pieces of blue in here, wherever I can. So I'm just trying to fill it in so you can't see what the top of the head looks like. And once you do that, it fills in quite nicely. So maybe a couple of more. Let's put a purple one up here. A sparkly purple. Oh, I'm stuck on something. Well, just lost that piece of purple. Let's find another one. It's hard not to get stuck on stuff up here, but another purple piece. So there you have it. We got about as much hair as we can. You can fill in whatever bald spots that you want, or you know, whatever parts that you want to cut off that you don't really like, you know, where the knots were, whatever. You can add a little bit more to the tail or to the mane or whatever you want to do. Well, there you have it. You're a unicorn. Thanks for joining me, guys. I'll see you in the next video.